Okay, so we're live. I think so. So hello, my name is Marcin. I will be your host today. I would like to welcome all of our viewers as well as our special guest Maciej Szafarczyk, the COO of Hololoot.
Hello, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hello. Okay, so Maciej, can you introduce yourself and describe your role in the project for a good start?
Sure. So, as you have introduced me, my name is Maciej. I'm the COO of Hololoot, and my role is to take care of fundraising, research, and operational things. I've actually stumbled upon this title today on LinkedIn called Chief Metaverse Officer, and I'm actually contemplating, becoming a Chief Metaverse Officer. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not. But yeah, I'm interested in anything that kind of stretches beyond, analog reality and goes into the digital. And ideally, combining the two worlds is my point of interest. So yeah, a few words about the team. So we've been active on the VR AR stage for about 5 years. We started with a small VR stand in Galeria Kazimierz in Krakow. We
Okay.
had one of the first HTC Vive headset in this part of Europe, and yeah, we started very small and then started growing, and we did some company events, did some VR trainings for different academics, and then we started our own software development company. And I guess the breaking point was getting into Krakowski Park Technologiczny. It's a acceleration program. We've received 50,000 euros of public funding to create this VR prototype, and then we kind of did a first major project. We also did some commercial solutions for Polish Airlines or for the steel mill in Krakow, and so on and so forth. And yeah, recently, we've gotten into the another acceleration program. We've received 250,000 euros to create an innovative technology, and we first applied it to the furniture sector, and we eventually decided to use the same tech and use it for a completely different market, which is basically NFT gaming. So we came to a point where we realized that we have a technology that is made of a cloud service, an AR app. We can showcase different holograms. It could be furniture and it could be assets from games, and we kind of contemplated both of these
Mhm.
paths, and we decided to explore the gaming part more, and this is where we landed with Hololoot. That's kind of like the very brief history of where we come from.
Okay, so actually you answered the first question, first and second actually. So let me ask you about the development plan of the project.
Yeah.
What can you do about that?
Well, so we've been working on the project since January. We managed to create the cloud service. It's available at hololoot.cloud. If you want to access it, you have to have an access to demo account, and I would be happy to give you one if you reach out to me. Right now we kind of want to limit the access to the infrastructure to our ambassadors, but eventually we will open it up to the public. So as I said, we have the cloud service where you can host 3D files. This cloud service also allows you to view these 3D files in the web browser, and it's connected to Engine's minting service, so you can actually turn this 3D model into an 3D NFT, and then those files are automatically sent into the AR app. So the AR app is connected with the cloud service, and yeah, this way, you don't have to know any coding. You don't have to, be a technical person to create your own AR NFT. So we are
Okay.
hoping to create, a new category this way. And we also have the prototype of the AR app. It's also available. If you contact us, we can give you access to the test program. But at this point, we're still not releasing it. The plan is to have the IDO in December of this year, and then to release the full generator and marketplace in the first quarter of 2022. So there's still a few months ahead of development, but if you want to see kind of like sneak peek of how it looks like, you can check our announcements channel on Telegram, for example. The link can be found
Mhm.
on our website, hololoot.io.
Okay, thank you. It's a very good roadmap. Okay, so let's dive into the Holo token. What kind of role does Holo have with your ecosystem? Can you explain it?
Sure. So the general role of the token is to fuel the entire ecosystem. We want to give access to the infrastructure to the people who actually stake the token. So staking the token will give you access to premium NFT offerings that we will do together with different gaming projects. So you can imagine, if we're able to cooperate with Star Atlas, for example, we would like to release a series of AR NFTs together. This could be, for example, spaceships. So the same
Okay.
spaceships that you can use in game, you can have in your AR application in your living room as a digital trophy, as a digital collectible. And this AR NFT would also give you a bonus in the game. So staking it would give you, a bonus in the partnered game. And of course, you can trade it. So that's one of the utilities. And we also want to give our users possibility to stake the tokens for a certain amount of APY. And we're considering to introduce a tax on people who wish to unstake. So some of the tokens will be
Hmm.
locked in the liquidity pool. So
Okay.
this is kind of like a slight deflationary mechanism that we want to implement. And yeah, we are also considering micropayments inside of the ecosystem. So, for example, if you want to buy, a nice looking frame or other kind of I don't know, like a podium for your AR NFT or like AR jewelry, which we want to also make a thing. You know, it's gonna be possible through by having the token, and the end goal for the token is to be, the kind of default currency. So every operation that will take place, either on the generator or on the marketplace, should be connected to the token. So it should create liquidity in this sense, and yeah, we see a lot of potential for it, especially in the
Hmm.
future.
Okay, so what about the early stage? What are the benefits of holding Holo token in early stage, except staking?
Well, so I would say I don't want to cause too much FOMO,
Okay.
but I will a little bit. We are closing the pre-sale at this point, so we're gonna be wrapping up the 2.75 million pre-sale most probably this month. So the only chance to kind of grab the tokens will be either through our ambassadors program or through the public sale that's gonna take place in December, and we expect the AR NFT category to boom because we feel
Hmm.
like the traditional NFT has kind of reached a certain point where AR could really benefit it. So if you want to be kind of part of a new, well, I don't want to sound too dramatic, but maybe revolution, but it's like still, I think something that can be impactful. Then it's a good moment to become an early adapter and help us along the way and hopefully create a new category of AR NFTs with us. So basically, by having the token at this point, you're becoming a part of the community. You're obviously helping us
Community
out
of
to
pioneers.
Come again?
Yeah, you're like pioneers in this AR NFT.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what about the public seed round? What do members need to prepare? Are you going to launch on some launchpad or directly on your platform? How does it work?
Yes. So when it comes to launchpads, we will definitely not do it on our own. We want to use already existing launchpads. So we have Engine Starter confirmed as the first launchpad that we will launch on, and we are in talks with Synapse Network. We haven't yet came to a final conclusion, but we are also considering launching with them. And then the third launchpad, we are considering among a few options. One of them is Moonstarter, either TrustPad, maybe DAO Maker. We are in contacts with all of these, and we have to kind of decide who's going to be the third player. But this is
Okay,
yet to come.
Maker sounds good.
Yes, but they do have
Great.
a kind of
Yeah, I know
complex
it's like just
selection process.
speculation for now.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so you told already something about your team, but let's talk a bit about your crew.
Yeah.
What makes the team behind it special, and why it's the best fit to accomplish the goal? How are the advisors helping the project?
Sure. So the core team is me, Adam, and Piotr. We've been working together for about 5 years. We've been through thick and thin. I think we went bankrupt like 7 times already or something, you know. So we've seen a lot and still managed to survive and expand. So I would say we both have, you know, the technical skills, the kind of business skills also, and also marketing competencies and fundraising skills, obviously, and so on and so forth. So I feel we're like an interdisciplinary team that is close together, and yeah, you know, we're able to create high quality infrastructure, and also we're able to wrap it up in a way that it's appealing, I would say. And except for the core team, we have a couple of developers. We have Pavel, who's a 3D artist slash engineer. Rafał, who's a data scientist. He's charge of the head of the recommendation engine because we also have something. We have a recommendation engine built in, and there's also Kamil, the AR wizard. So you know, we pretty much have all of the skill sets to create the infrastructure. And on the marketing side, we have Olga, and right now we're gonna be working closely with a few people from 3 and Crypto. I don't want to talk too many details yet because it's still kind of in the talks. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be all right. And our advisors, we have Marcin Kolago, who's participated in Student Coin project, and there's Igor Pusa. I think he's yeah, connected to the VC that we're talking to right now. I am talking to right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Igor has helped us, and Marcin, they've helped us a lot with the tokenomics. They have introduced us to the world of blockchain, and yeah, I would say it's a very fruitful cooperation. We are in constant contact, and I feel like the result that we have gotten so far is very good, and I think it's gonna get even better from here because right now we have, you know, the funds to expand the team. So we're gonna introduce more people. You will see, you know, an updated list of those people on the website soon. So we're just getting started, and I feel like the core team, the key team that started from the beginning is there. But right now, if we're able to bring more people, it's gonna get even better. So yeah, we should be fine.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you for exhausting answers, and maybe let's start with community questions.
Sure.
because community is waiting for them. So the first question from Twitter, from Nutcracker.
Okay.
Are you planning to introduce any interaction gameplay possibilities with your AR objects, e.g. Pokemon Go?
Yes. In this sense, I would like to actually interview our AR developer, Kamil. Kamil has some cool ideas in this regard. He hasn't yet implemented them, but I think within a week we will introduce animations. So right now we have static holograms. Soon we will have animations that you can trigger, and later on, Kamil is planning to add hand tracking to AR. So his plan is to give users a possibility to actually grab the hologram with your hand.
Okay.
So that's kind of the next step, and then we want to have a possibility to conduct AR airdrops in the AR app. So you can imagine, a chest falling from the sky that you can open up with your hand, pick up the, AR NFT and place it on the wall, for example. That's kind of the, you know, place where we want to go. And next year we want to introduce something called location-based AR NFTs. So these would be more like Pokemon Go. So these AR NFTs would be location binded. So you could specify that
Mm-hmm.
you have you have a game called like Lost Relics, and they're opening up a new dungeon, and you have to go to a specific location in real world to actually pick up a key that you can collect for your wallet in the AR app, and then use it in the game. So we are
Okay.
considering a lot of possible interactions. And Kamil, I know he's also his one of his latest ideas that he wants to prototype soon. It's kind of top secret, so don't share it with many people. But he was also considering. I'm looking for the right word. A board game with your in AR with your hand. So I think that also could be cool. So you can imagine like Warhammer, little figurines that you can actually move with your hand as holograms, and they could interact with one another. There was also an idea to create like a mini tower defense game out of AR holograms. There's a lot of possibilities that I think haven't been explored yet. So mini games are definitely something that we're looking into, and play to earn mechanism for location-based AR NFTs. So walk around, collect different AR NFTs, maybe collect some coins and so on and so forth. That's definitely something that we also want to do. So
Okay. So AR airdrops and board games sounds, let's say, fresh.
yeah.
Yeah. So another second question from Twitter from Defi Crypto Star. Can users generate their own NFTs from the real world objects? If so, do we need special equipment or can simple ones be done using a smartphone camera maybe? And lastly, what are the physical size limits for the objects you can digitize?
Okay, so thank you for the question. And yeah, in regards to real world objects, you would have to either recreate them with 3D modeling software like Blender, Maya, 3ds Max, or you would have to scan them. Um, the scanning is a little bit complicated. I would say the kind of newest hardware, like iPhone 12, especially the one equipped with LiDAR, or iPhone 13 equipped with LiDAR, is capable of scanning quite well when you have, specific software that we are not gonna release on our own. You would have to do it on your own. But you can also, we're also considering partnership with MetaHero. So this could also work in that sense if we're able to reach a consensus with MetaHero in regards to yeah, poly count and weight of files and so on and so forth, then I think that would be a perfect solution. But yeah, there's going to be a specific guideline on how big the files should be, because at the end of the day, this is an AR experience, so you cannot have, high resolution, 3D models, and not kill the device, not kill the smartphone. So it has to be optimized in a sense, but we will, do our best to create a good guideline and then to create, algorithms that would simplify the mesh and compress the textures and so on and so forth. So this is still yet to be kind of tested with different developers, but we are working on it, and the plan is to give users a possibility to create the AR NFTs on their own, because this is, for example, something that distinguishes us from Vivi, the ecomi, project that is kind of our competitor. So we wouldn't want, we wouldn't want to limit users in this sense. However, the kind of there's technological limitations that we have to address. So it has to be a kind of like a mixture of both.
Okay. Okay, so third question from Twitter is a little bit something that you already said, but let's ask it. Kwang Ba asks, AR VR still seems very new to everyone, and people afraid that its real-life applications may take years. What is your plan to make it closer to everyone?
Well, there's this thing called Gartner's hype cycle, and it's a research institute that kind of measures how each technology is performing on the market. And from what I know, both VR and AR have passed the peak of expectations, the hype, and are kind of now in the field where, people are working hard on different real world applications, but the kind of results are still yet to come. So I partially agree with it. This is not a technology that is ready to be implemented straight away, but at the same time, you have 1 billion devices worldwide that are AR ready, and you can see that a lot of newest hardware is geared towards both VR and AR. Well, I think AR is simpler as a technology to be introduced to the mass market because it gives you a sense of connection with the real world. So it's not as creepy as VR. I'm not sure if you have played, for example, like Half-Life Alyx, but you can kind of lose the sense of what is reality and what is virtual reality. With AR, it's kind of more casual experience. So I think it's a matter of time when people will go beyond this conception that if you want to present some kind of an object, it has to be a 2D picture. I think the 3D version of any object is superior to the 2D one. So the kind of infrastructure is there. People are getting more and more familiar with it. I feel like it's a matter of time when it's gonna be a full-fledged kind of like a normal thing to do to use AR. But we need more applications, and we want to be kind of setting the trend. And I feel like mixing AR with blockchain is also a good match, because I feel like people in the blockchain sector are kind of more willing to take risks, more willing to change their default patterns to try something new. So I feel like people from the NFTs world would be really good adopters of AR, but we will see how it goes.
Yes, true. I also think that VR adaptation is a matter of time. We need more developers and projects, as you said. Okay, so another question, fourth, from Twitter, and it's from DeFi Crypto Store again. I saw you are powered by Engine Tech. Does this mean Hololoot will run on Ethereum? Please share your cross-chain plans. What chains do you see as the most promising for your platform to expand to? And lastly, any thoughts on partnering with Immutable?
Okay, so I will try to take it step by step. So we are partnered with Engine. We are using their NFT minting service and their JumpNet. So the AR NFTs will be first hosted on their JumpNet, and you will be able to move them onto the mainnet, onto Ethereum, but you will have to pay the gas cost. So
Yeah.
it's a solution that the JumpNet solution allows you to basically have the full functionality, but if you want to move it to the mainnet, that's a different story. That's why we're also gonna launch on Binance Smart Chain, to give to cut on the fees there. Can you say the second part of the question?
What chains do you see as the most promising for your
Cross-chain.
platform
I
to
think it was something
expand
about
to? And
cross-chain, right?
lastly, any thoughts or partnering with Immutable? So it's third part of the question.
When it comes to cross-chain, I think our best chance is Engine's Affinity, that is supposed to come out. The beta will come out end of this year, and we might have a chance on putting our infrastructure on it next year. The chains that we see potential in moving on is Terra, and Solana, and I think that's it at this point. I don't want to go
I
too
think it's
far, like
enough.
let's still a lot of
Yeah,
work.
sure.
And with Immutable X, I haven't yet researched it, to be honest. It is tempting, but I will have to research it more in depth, because I don't know how they compare to Engine, for example.
Okay. Thank you. So maybe now one question from the chat. Question from Ugur Alkasir. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Sorry. And the question is, which areas in real life do you think AR-based NFTs will be used? I don't mean gaming, actually real businesses.
Right. Well, the sector that we're working in, except for gaming, is furniture. So I put my money on it. That's it's a field that can be used as the real business thing. Um, you know, furniture is volumetric, so AR works perfectly in this sense. You can actually try out different pieces of furniture in your living room. Compare how these holograms look with your with the color of your walls, the other already existing furniture there, and so on and so forth. And we thought that NFTs could serve as a kind of proof of authenticity of the furniture that comes to you, especially for like high-end designer objects. But it also can contain various information about the production facility, other kind of information that is right now stored in an analog way. So for example, when you order a sofa, and then you want to let's say it damages over time, and then you want to replace a pillow or something. You have to get access to the information about the origin of this piece of furniture, of the type of fabric that has been used, and so on and so forth. So these informations can be actually stored in an NFT. And if you want to sell that piece of furniture, especially if we're talking about a work of art, kind of like a collector's item, high-end furniture, then this will serve as a proof of authenticity. So, for example, we have talked to this Polish designer called Oskar Zięta, and if you look at his furniture, this is more like piece of art. So you obviously want to know that this item that you're buying is authentic, and NFT can be a technology that can serve for that, because yes, since it's on blockchain, it's impossible to forge it. So that's kind of one of the solutions that comes to my head.
Yeah, I think it's one of many solutions. I think there are a lot of potential use cases except furniture, but it sounds good. Another question from David Yak7, I think it's correct pronunciation. Can you explain to us how Hololoot is different from other NFT marketplaces in crypto world? What are your unique features that others don't have in terms of NFT?
Sure. Well, I think the thing that distinguishes us from other, NFT marketplaces is that we are AR native, and this kind of opens up a completely different experience. It's not just browsing through an endless amount of kind of random, pictures. Some of them being very, hyped, and most of them being just kind of, and so to address this, we have, for example, created the recommendation engine. So the point is to analyze which 3D NFTs you already have in your equipment, and then suggest to you something that is similar to it. I haven't really
Okay.
stumbled upon a solution that would address this, but maybe I haven't researched enough. But yeah, and then implementing different mini games, AR and mini games can also kind of give this different taste of experiencing the NFT
Yeah.
marketplace. So we're looking at it more as a game than an auction house.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, I think it's a good answer. Another six Twitter questions from Traveler Voyager. Can you
Okay.
tell us about burn and buyback? When will you start it and how? I think it's
Sure.
very important.
So you can find the detailed description in our white paper available on
Yeah.
hololoot.io. Actually, Marcin and Igor, our tokenomics advisors and the token utility designers, they have described the mechanism there in detail. But basically, we want to introduce, simple deflationary mechanisms to, decrease the amount of tokens circulating in the ecosystem, and we are considering buying back a portion of the tokens from the market by using the revenue stream, a portion of the revenue stream. So basically, a portion of the revenues that we will generate as Hololoot as the marketplace, because we want to take 5% commission from each sale that's going to happen on the AR NFT marketplace. We want to, designate part of it for the buyback action, and then either we're gonna burn those tokens that we have bought back, or we will divide it among the people who are staking. So this is still something that we have not decided upon 100%, but you can find the general idea in the white paper. And I
Okay.
guess the most competent person to answer this would be our tokenomics advisors.
Okay. Okay. It's. I think it's enough. Okay. So let's move to another question from Juan Iker. Can you tell us about the background and experience of the whole development team? How will they implement your project during the current pandemic? So I think the first question is already answered, but maybe about the pandemic, does it affect you?
Well, right now I'm in my parents' place outside of Krakow. My business partner is in Krakow. The CTO is in Krakow. We have one person, in Warsaw, another person in Krakow, and another person in Oświęcim. So I think a week ago, it was the first time that we've met with the people who live in Krakow uh, after like 9 months. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, all the communication takes place on Slack. We have bi-weekly meetings. We also have Trello, where we list the tasks, and where we have the roadmap. Adam is basically the people person, so he keeps calling people up, asking about how's the progress of things going, and yeah, so far it's been going very good. I don't see a necessity to actually bring people to a physical location, because anyone who lives in Poland knows that we have really fucking bad traffic. So if you want to move from a part of the city to a part of the city, for example in Krakow, it's gonna take you 2 hours one way. So it's ridiculous. Same in Warsaw, I believe. and probably other cities in Poland. So I feel like it's a torture to actually work in an office. So we adjusted to the needs of the pandemic, and I don't think we're gonna have any issues, especially that we're working with something that is purely digital. All the testing, all the communication can be done remotely. So I would say, to be honest, that the pandemic has been a blessing for us in the sense of it's normalized the remote work, and for an IT team, it works very well, I feel.
Yeah, I think it's better to stay at home. That's my opinion too.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that one. Another for Kevin Haynes. Okay, so if VR is to be an extension of actual reality, in what ways do you see capabilities lending space with the growth of advanced technology to help us not only to extend into VR, but for it to be able to extend back and improve actual life, where be it financially or educationally?
I think I haven't gotten the essence of the question. Can you recap it for me in a simple, kind of like a simple way? I'm sorry. Is it about how AR is connected to VR and then how it's connected to real world?
I think so. Maybe partially. You can tell us something about that.
Well, since we have a cloud solution, we can basically plug this cloud service into both VR and AR. So that's kind of one part. And in regards to real world problems that this can tackle, well, I feel like blockchain and Web3 is changing a lot of a lot of paradigms that have been treated as something that is normal just a few years back. So, for example, a few years back, nobody really seen anything wrong in, for example, Steam taking 100% of the shares from people playing the game. So the play to earn model, I feel that's a huge game changer. But I'm just a guy, if you really want to kind of see how blockchain affects the world on a kind of like a global scale, I would recommend a conversation between Balai Srinivasan, the CTO of Coinbase, and Justin Kan, the founder of Twitch. They basically talk about some crazy stuff, like that there's a VR copy of the Silicon Valley already there somewhere, and that Silicon Valley is considering moving out of US, and that I know that people in developing countries are able to earn more money through blockchain gaming than through regular jobs. So there's a lot of important stuff going on, and I feel like mixing up the digital with reality is a way to go. But of course, there's a lot of problems that this technology doesn't tackle. So AR NFTs at this point are mostly entertainment.
Yeah. And about the P2E, I think that the P2E model is something that the gamers dreamed of, and now it became real. It's a real revolution, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question from Twitter from Marcin. Will it be possible to visualize the interior design by using VR technologies in the construction industry architecture, thanks to which we will see the furnished apartment as we want to have it, finally in our cozy apartment? So you already answered it, but you can.
We hope to launch Holo Home next year too. So except for Hololoot, There's gonna be the Holo Home app. It's the same kind of technology, but for two different sectors. So Holo Home actually aims to do just that. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, the answer is yes. It's possible. It just has to be introduced to people, and people have to learn the mechanics, how to use it. And I feel like once people get their hands on the application, once they buy their first hologram furniture and it's delivered to them and it's exactly the way they see it in the app, I think that can also unlock a lot of potential. Because right now what you're doing is you're usually, you have some 2D images, renders or pictures, and then you use your imagination or you hire somebody to make a 3D render for you. I feel like that's not efficient enough, and I feel like AR can really tackle that. So yeah.
Okay. So it
And
was the
yeah,
last one.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you for your time. And maybe a few words to our present and future audience for the ending.
Of course,
Maybe some
I'm going to introduce
invitation.
people to the ambassadors program. I think it's going to be really cool. People will be able to get access on the software as the first. We're going to have AR memes contest, so that can also be quite interesting. And thank you for having me. Thank you for also supporting our project. And yeah, you are welcome to ask more questions. I will do my best to answer them. So enjoy the night. And
Okay, thank you for your time. I hope that Holo will have very good start and take care. Thank you. Thanks
thanks a
for our
lot.
viewers for your time, and see you soon, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Take good care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Take